Hello students. So this is the first lecture of current electricity, new chapter. Okay. We have learned a lot about charges at rest. Okay. Physics of charges at rest. Though that is electrostatics. Now electrodynamics. That means charges are flowing. We will get current. Okay. So first we have to understand what is the meaning of this current. Okay, current means what? What is its definition? So current meaning is the rate of flow of charge through any cross section. Okay, rate of flow of charge through any cross section. The cross section may be circular, the cross section may be rectangular, okay, anything. So rate of flow of charge through any cross section. Okay, in class 9, 10 you have read that current is denoted by capital I, current I equal to Q by T. Okay, this formula is applicable when charge flowing in equal interval of time is equal. Okay, that means in equal interval of time, if the amount of charge flowing is equal, then we can use this formula I equal to simple Q by T. Otherwise we have to use another mathematical expression. Okay, that is what? That is I is equal to limit delta t tends to 0 delta q by delta t. And in physics or in mathematics also we can express this one, limit delta t tends to 0. Delta t is very small, that means infinitesimally small. Delta q by delta t is written as dq by dt. That means what? Derivative. This is derivative of charge with respect to time. Okay, here charge flowing in equal interval of time may not be equal, it may be different in equal interval of time. Suppose in first second charge is this much q, so in second second it is flowing 2q, in third second it is 3q. So with time, with equal interval of time, the charge flowing through any cross section is increasing or decreasing, whatever, means it is changing with time. Then we have to use this relation. So this is the basic formula of current. Okay, this is the basic formula of current. Okay, understand? Now come to its unit. You all know unit will be ampere. Okay, it is denoted by capital A. Okay, and we all know that current is the basic physical quantity. Basic physical quantity in SI system. So dimension of current, okay, it can be denoted by capital I or capital E, whatever. Okay, clear? So this is the simple part of current. Definition of current, its expression, its unit and its dimension. It is the basic quantity in SI system, so its dimension will be I or A. Okay, so I am erasing this part. Now come to different properties of this current. So properties. First one, its unit is ampere, right? So what is the meaning of this ampere? 1 ampere. 1 ampere means what? 1 ampere means what? 1 ampere means 1 coulomb of charge flowing in 1 second. Okay, charge by time, that is current. So 1 coulomb of charge flowing in 1 second, that is 1 ampere. Now 1 coulomb means what? How many electrons? Charge flowing, that means which charge can flow inside any metal, that is free electrons. Okay, you all know, I hope. Okay, so how many electrons can flow in 1 second? So one electron means 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb. Okay, now 1 coulomb means what? 1 by 6 10 to the power minus 9 electrons. Okay, so how many electrons? If you divide this, you will get almost 6.25 into 10 to the power 18 electrons. Okay, so 1 ampere means flow of 6.25 10 to the power 18 electrons in 1 second through any cross sectional area. So this is the meaning of 1 ampere. Clear? Second point, conventional direction of current. Suppose I am drawing a circuit, simple circuit. This is resistance, this is battery of potential, suppose 10 volt. Okay, here draw a bulb. So this is bulb and the circuit is closed, so bulb will glow. Okay, that means current is flowing. Now in which direction the current is flowing? From positive to negative or negative to positive? This is a metallic wire. Okay, this is a metallic wire. Okay, so metallic wire means there are many free electrons. Okay, whenever we place that metallic or we place that free electrons, those free electrons in any potential difference, then they will flow. Electron always flows from lower potential to higher potential. Electron is negatively charged, so electron will flow from lower potential to the higher potential. Okay, so this represents lower potential and this big line represent higher potential. So electron flows in this direction. Okay, and we consider the direction of current. Direction of current is from positive potential to negative potential or higher potential to lower potential. Direction of current is from positive potential. This big line represents positive potential and the small line represent negative potential, and current flows in this direction. Okay, current flows like this. Okay, so current flows from positive to negative terminal of the battery. Okay, so direction of current is opposite to the direction of flow of free electrons. Okay, this is the conventional direction of current. Clear? Now point number C. Current is a scalar quantity. Okay, current is a scalar quantity. We know there are two kinds of physical quantity, vector and scalar. So current is a scalar quantity. Okay, current has no direction, only magnitude. Okay, so current is a scalar quantity and its direction is from positive or higher potential to lower potential, positive terminal to negative terminal, or opposite to the flow of free electrons. Second point, suppose this is a conductor, this kind of conductor, different cross sectional area. Okay, different cross sectional area, and it is connected with some battery, external source of potential V. Okay, now I am taking 3 points. This is 1 point, this is 1 point, and this is another point. Point A is inside this part, point B inside this part, and point C inside this part. Now what about the current at point A, B and C? What about the current? Which current at which point will be maxima, at which point it will be minima, or all the points will have same current, what will be the correct option? So first thing, current will flow like this. Current will flow like this. Okay, current will flow like this. So we can think that this part is a resistance. From this to this part is another resistance, and this part is another resistance. Okay, so we can draw a simple diagram. First resistance, second resistance, third resistance connected to an external battery. This is suppose A, B, C, potential B. So these three resistors are connected in series. Series means what? Series means what? Current will be same, right? Series means current will be same through each resistances. Clear? You all know this point, I hope. So IA equal to IB equal to IC. So current will remain same. Okay, current will remain same. Understand? Understand? So I am erasing this point. Next point. Now point E. Current due to translatory motion. Translatory motion of charges. Translatory motion means current charge is flowing linearly. Okay, charge is flowing linearly. Okay, linearly. Then what will be the current? How will you calculate the current? So suppose I am taking two conditions. First condition, suppose there are n number of electrons. N electrons. Okay, or n charges. Take charges. N charges are flowing through a cross section in time t, and each particle has charge q. Right here, n particle. Okay, then what will be the current? What will be the current? Suppose this is one cross sectional area. Okay, through this cross sectional area, n number of particles are flowing in time t, and each particle has charge q. Okay, so what will be the current through this cross sectional area? So first you have to find the amount of charge flowing through this cross section. That will be number of particles into charge of each particle, that is nq. So nq is the amount of charge flowing through this area in how much time? In time t. So per unit time. So this will be the current. Okay, so I equal to nq by t. Clear? Clear? Another condition. Suppose n is the number density of charged particles. Number density means number of charged particles per unit volume. Okay, here per unit volume. Okay, and their velocity is v. Each charge has velocity v. Okay, each particle has charge q. Okay, and this number of charges, these charges are flowing through a cross sectional area. Suppose this cross sectional area, again I am taking this cross sectional area. Okay, then what will be the amount of current? Okay, clear? So here time is not given. Okay, and n is not the total number of charged particle. N is not the total number of charged particle. N is number density, charged particles per unit volume, which is flowing through this cross sectional area. So here we have to draw a cylinder. Okay, we have to draw a cylinder. Cylinder of length what? V. Because V velocity V means what? Length by time, 1 second. Okay, length, I am taking length V, time will be 1 second. So this length is covered by those charged particle in 1 second. Okay, so this length is covered by the charged particle in 1 second. So how many charges are there inside? how many charges? This cross sectional area A, this length is V. Okay, so volume will be A into V. Okay, so number of charged particle will be NaV. Number of charged particle will be NaV. Okay, amount of charge, number of charge into Q. Q is the charge of each particle. So this is the total number of charge into Q will get the total amount of charge flowing through this cross sectional area in how much time? In 1 second. So in 1 second means what? By 1 you will get what? Current. So current means, here current means NQAV. Okay, we will elaborately discuss this equation in the next lecture. This velocity has another name, a particular name, that is drift velocity. We will elaborately discuss about this equation in the next lecture. Okay, there we will understand what is drift velocity, how drift velocity is generated. Okay, so here just remember this equation NQA into V. Okay, in drift velocity is denoted by VB, so there we will write it as VB, drift velocity. Okay, understand? So this is current due to translatory motion of charge. Now next point, current due to rotatory motion. Rotatory motion of charge. So here charges are rotating, and for their rotational motion we will get current. Like electrons are rotating around nucleus inside atom, that means we get current. Okay, but they are actually we do not get current due to another reason. But if you take a single electron and you look at that single electron, that means you will get current because it is flowing. So here suppose this is the circular path, and in that circular path charge is rotating. Okay, so suppose this is the charge Q. Okay, so current means rate of flow of charge through any cross sectional area. So here we will draw a cross sectional area. Okay, that cross sectional area will be perpendicular like this, perpendicular to the path. Okay, if it is the flow, this pen tells about the direction of flow of charge, then the cross sectional area will be like this, perpendicular. Okay, okay, so here I am drawing a cross sectional area. After how much time again that charge will come back here? After how much time? After a particular time. Okay, that time is known as time period, because it is a circular motion, it is a rotational, oscillatory motion, you can tell. So here charge will again come back at this point after a particular time, that is known as time period. So here current will be charged by that time period. Okay, how will you find that time period? T is equal to what? T is equal to what? Suppose the speed of charge is V. Okay, and radius of that circular path is R. Okay, so T will be this length by velocity. This length means 2 pi R by velocity or speed. Okay, now V will go up, so Q V by 2 pi R is the current. Okay, now we can also express in terms of angular velocity. This is linear velocity V. We can also express in terms of angular velocity. In terms of angular velocity, time period will be 2 pi by omega. So Q omega by 2 pi. Omega is known as angular velocity. Omega is known as angular velocity. Okay, so in this way we can also find the time period of charges, those are rotating in a circular path. Clear? Next point, suppose current is flowing through this wire. Okay, suppose I0. Now at this point I have joined two wires like this, so current will flow. So current is flowing through this wire is I1 and through this wire is I2. Okay, and we know that current is only a scalar quantity, it is not a vector quantity, so we will not use vector addition, subtraction, multiplication, those things we will not use here. Okay, so this total current I0 is getting divided at this point, so we can write I0 will be I1 plus I2, right? If there is another division, then I3, so it will be plus I3 also. Okay, clear? As current is not a vector quantity, so we can simply add them, okay, or we can simply divide them. Okay, dividing this way, I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to the total current I0. Okay, and this will happen due to some reason, due to some physical reason. That reason is conservation of charge. Okay, conservation of charge. This is very important point. We will elaborately discuss about this point in the next topic, that is Kirchhoff's law. There we will discuss this elaborately. This point, conservation of charge, means we can use this kind of equation. At any junction, the total current is coming. Total current is coming to this point is equal to the total current is coming out from that point. Okay. So this is due to conservation of charge. That means what? No charge will accumulate at any point inside the wire. No charge will accumulate at any point inside the wire. Whatever the charge is flowing through that point, the charge will flow. No accumulation. Okay? Understand? So now come to a very important point, that is current density. It is very important. It is denoted by capital J and it is a vector quantity. Current is not a vector quantity, but current density, it is a vector quantity. Okay, so we have to use vector algebra here while we will deal with current density. But current is not a vector quantity. Okay, so what is the meaning of this current density? Current density means it is the amount of current flowing through a unit cross sectional area. Okay, so amount of current flowing through a unit cross sectional area. Okay, now the main point, provided the area should be perpendicular to the direction of current. Area should be perpendicular to the direction of current. Okay, this is the very important point. So suppose this is a cross sectional area of area A, and suppose the amount of current flowing through this cross sectional area is I, and here we are seeing that the direction of current is perpendicular to this cross sectional area. It is like this, cross sectional area is like this, and current is flowing like this. Okay, current is flowing like this, that means perpendicular. So J, current density, it is vector, will be I by A. Okay, what will be the direction? This is magnitude. What will be the direction? Direction will be in the direction of current. In the direction of current. Okay, J is I by A, in the direction of current. Okay, clear? What will be its unit? Unit will be current by area, that means ampere meter minus 2. Okay, what will be its dimension? Dimension of J. So dimension of current means I. Current is basic quantity. Dimension of area, that means L square, meter square, L square. So it will be I L minus 2. Okay, or if you write express in terms of mLt, then m0 L minus 2 T0 I. Okay, okay, clear. Now suppose the area is not perpendicular. So suppose the area is not perpendicular. So area is like this. Area is like this. Then how will you calculate? Then how will you calculate the current density? Okay. So here this is the cross sectional area. Current is flowing through this. So current will flow like this I. Okay. And we all know that any surface area, any cross sectional area will have a direction. The direction is outward normal. So outward normal, this is area, outward normal, and area is a vector quantity. Direction of that vector is outward normal. Okay, so here there is an angle theta between area vector and direction of current. Okay, and here area vector is in the direction of current. In that time we just divide current by the area. So here we have to take the component of this area along the direction of current. Then we will get this kind of situation. Okay, component of area along the direction of current, that will be what? A cos theta, component of area along the current. So it will be A cos theta, theta is the angle between them. Okay, then divide the current, you will get current density. Direction again along the direction of I, along the direction of I. Okay, clear? Clear. So I am erasing this part. So suppose J equal to I by A. So in differentiation form we can write J equal to Di by dA, because of the same reason. If current through each cross section is not same, okay, current through each cross section is not same, that means there may be two cases, current is different for each cross section or the area is different. Okay, suppose this kind of figure, area is different at any point, area is different, not same. Okay, so in that case also we will have to use this relation. So this is basically the basic relation. So J equal to Di by D. Okay, now and direction will be n cap. N cap is the direction of current. Okay, n cap is the direction of current. Now how will you find current, total current through any cross section? That will be integration J dot dA. Okay, because by doing this dot product we can get a scalar quantity. Dot product means scalar product. Okay, after doing dot product of two vectors we will get scalar. Okay, so these are very important relations for your competitive exam also. Okay, and here the definition of current density is very important question. The definition of current density, the unit of current density, the direction of current density, these small question are very important for your board exam. Okay, now come to some basic question or small question and conceptual question like that one, that this, then this, then this. And we had seen if we take 3 points A, B, C, then current will be same at the 3 points IA, IB equal to IC. This is okay, fine. Now what about the current density? Will it be same or different? What about the current density? So current density depends on cross sectional area. Now look at this part. Cross sectional area is this much only. Look at this part. Cross sectional area is this much. Look at this part. Cross sectional area is this much. So cross sectional area is different at different points A, B, C. At different points, cross sectional areas are different, and current density is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area. For same current, current density is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area. That means small cross sectional area means higher current density. So JA will be greater than JB than JC. Okay, and the direction is in the direction of current. Clear? Clear? I am erasing. And one equation I had written for current, that is I equal to N Q A VB, the drift velocity. So here also you can find current density, that is J equal to I by A. So we will get N Q VD. Okay, these things we will discuss elaborately in the next class, okay, of current electricity. Okay, so now this J, current density J, and electric field, they are related to each other. When we are putting some battery is generating mainly the potential difference. Due to that battery, the free electrons are flowing in a particular direction. Without battery, the free electrons will not flow in a particular direction. Okay, so whenever there is a potential difference, we can get a electric field. Okay, and again in the next lecture we will see what is the relation between that electric field and the potential difference. Okay, that we had already seen, but in the next class I will again tell. That thing is E equal to V by L, electric field equal to potential difference by the separation between 2 points across which we want to find the potential difference. So the relation between J and E, that relation is J equal to sigma E. This is the relation. This is also known as the vector form of Ohm's law. Okay, this is also known as vector form of Ohm's law. This is also very important relation. J is current density, E is electric field. What is sigma? What is sigma? Sigma is known as conductivity. Conductivity, and conductivity is basically equal to 1 by resistivity rho. Okay, conductivity is the material property which tells about the how easily the free electrons can flow through that material, and it will be 1 by resistivity. Less resistivity means high conductivity. High conductivity means less resistivity. Okay, so in this way, so conductivity equal to 1 by rho resistivity. This term you had already seen in class 10 in the formula of resistance, R equal to rho into L by A. Okay, remember? Yes, so this is very important relation. Okay, so now we will see one numerical, then we will finish our lecture today. So that numerical is a copper wire having diameter 1.02 millimeter carries a current of 1.7 ampere. Okay, calculate J, current density. Calculate current density. Okay, only the magnitude of current density. Here there is nothing about the direction, whether the cross sectional area is perpendicular to the flow of current or not, that is not given. So we will take that the current is perpendicular to the cross sectional area. This is cross sectional area. Here the copper wire having diameter. Diameter means that cross sectional area will be circular. Yes, cross sectional area will be circular. So we have to find J. J equal to I by A. I means 1.7 ampere, and area. Here it is cross sectional area is circular. Circular means area will be pi r square. Now r means what? R is the radius of that cross sectional area, that means diameter by 2. Diameter is 1.02 by 2 millimeter, that means 0.51 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter. So put that value. So 1.7 ampere by pi into 0.51 10 to the power minus 3 square meter square. Okay, if you calculate this, you will get the answer 2.08. You will get the answer 2.08 into 10 to the power 6 ampere meter minus 2. 2.06 into 10 to the power 6 ampere meter minus 2. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is our introduction lecture about current, electricity. Okay, many things you know. Okay, you have read in class 9 and 10, and few things you don't know, like current density, like conductivity, like translatory motion of charge, current due to translatory motion, current due to rotatory motion. Okay, relation between current density and electric field. Okay, those things you don't know. So watch this lecture and note down the points that you don't know. Okay, clear?